Tonight's presenter has always been someone who approaches his speaking topics with a lot of enthusiasm. But on May 11th of this year, Scott's girlfriend shared a story that has since brought much clarity to him and just may change his life forever. Is there something you want to tell us? Oh, okay. She told Scott how her dad used 6 simple words that he had learned long ago to motivate him to live a very long and successful life. With his speech titled, 6 Simple Words That Can Change Your Life, put your hands together for Scott Garver.
Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. In just 30 minutes, I'm going to motivate you to become the power source in your life. Whether you want to run a 5K, become a professional speaker, or just have more energy to spend time with your family when you get home in the evenings. I'll teach you how to implement the 3 E's to drive your way towards success, no matter what your endeavor. Enthusiasm creates excitement, which generates effectiveness. Fellow Toastmasters, are you ready to join the next big movement in America?
Oh, yeah.
Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. I want to start this session with the definition of what enthusiasm is. It's an eager interest and enjoyment of a purpose or an approval. Some synonyms for enthusiasm are verve, vigor, passion, gusto, fire, spirit. When I look at the definition of enthusiasm, one word jumps off the page at me, and that's enjoyment. Because any time that I've ever been enthusiastic about something, I've really had a joyous feeling about that topic that I was focusing on. This topic that I'm sharing tonight has me very enthusiastic to share it with you because it's fun to talk about, and also because I get energized about the opportunity to share something with you that you may be able to use to be excited about achieving your goals as well. The second thing about the definition is that enthusiasm is a noun. But to me, it's a verb. Because when I hear the word enthusiasm, it's everything about action and enjoying that action. So why is enthusiasm important? I want to ask you a question. If you are enthusiastic and get people excited, what are they more apt to do? Anyone?
Enjoy themselves.
Enjoy themselves? Okay.
They may follow what you do.
Follow. Buy your products. Or buy into your ideas. What about refer you to others? We're all in this room tonight because we want to be paid speakers, right? How important are referrals to us? They're the lifeblood of our business. What do all of the great leaders, speakers, and successful entrepreneurs over time, have in common? Your Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Martin Luther King, JFK, Oprah. They are all charged and turned on. They are a model for a level of energy that has the power to change the world. Their enthusiasm creates excitement. And then people want to buy in to what they're talking about. They want to follow. They want to change. They want to get better. That excitement that is created increases the blood flow to our brains as an audience and generates more ideas, more passion, more thoughts, more power within us. What do all of the great frontmen and rock and roll bands have in common? Enthusiasm, right? I attended a concert last summer. I went to see the Rolling Stones. And I had never been a fan. But my girlfriend really wanted to go. I said, okay. It's in Ohio Stadium. Cool venue. So we go to this concert, and I witnessed a 70-year-old Mick Jagger running from end to end of the stage, singing, yelling, talking to the crowd for 3 hours straight, never took a break. This stage is 50 yards all the way across the field and 50 yards out into the crowd. I was blown away. Immediately became a fan. See how enthusiasm can create that excitement? What's the old adage about enthusiasm? Enthusiasm is contagious, right? Thomas Edison made 10,000 attempts at creating the light bulb. And guess what? He failed 10,000 times. But he kept his enthusiasm because for every time that he failed, he knew that he was one step closer to creating that light bulb. My girlfriend told me a story about her dad, Don Now, who was a very successful salesperson, an entrepreneur. She said that before every sales presentation that he ever did, he would say these words to himself. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. He raised 13 children. He gave the same advice to every one of those kids, that to be successful in life, you need to do this. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. He was a very successful sales manager. And at the end of each of his sales meetings, he would have his sales staff stand up. And they would repeat that with him. Let's try it. All of you stand up, please. Follow along with me. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Thank you. How'd that feel? Good? Well, you guys are ready to change the world, I can tell. I want each of you to become the power source in your life. I want you to tune out negativity and plug in to enthusiasm. Jim Harbaugh has a quote that he says almost every time I hear him on TV. And he says to attack every day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Now, I never thought that I would be quoting the coach of my most hated rival, Michigan Wolverines. But if that isn't an example of using enthusiasm to be the power source in your life, then I don't know what is. I want you to consider something. Living gluten-free is all the rage these days. I want you to consider living another way, and that's gluten-free. We need to free ourselves of all of the gloom and doom people in our lives. Don't let their negative attitudes and problems become our problems. Act enthusiastic around them. Be the sunshine that they're looking for in their lives. And then maybe, before too long, they may start standing in line to get on the ride that you're on. They may stop looking at their lives like this terrible, horrible, frightening roller coaster ride and start looking at it like the thrilling ride that it can be. Life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, folks. Wait, wasn't there a song about that? Life is a highway, I'm gonna ride it all night long. I've been studying successful people for quite some time to find out just what makes them tick and what they do, the strategies they use on a daily basis to help them become successful. And what I found out was they use 3 basic strategies on a daily basis to help them achieve their goals. The first one is to chunk it down. After they set their goals, no matter how lofty they are, they have a great ability to break those goals down into more manageable tasks that they can do on a daily or weekly basis. They're also very focused on the fact that they need to keep moving, even if it's just a baby step towards their goal. The second thing that they do is they adopt daily rituals or habits that keep them focused on those smaller goals. One of the daily habits that I've adopted in my life is to start each day by stopping. Deepak Chopra shared a super cool stop technique on a Super Soul Sunday program on the Oprah Winfrey Network. How many of you have ever watched or heard of a Super Soul Sunday? Okay. Let me tell you something. If you haven't, you need to make yourself a little note or send yourself a text to go home and start DVRing these powerful programs. It's amazing what you can get out of them. She sits down with well-known speakers and leaders and people in the world, all across the world, that have written books or led countries. And she talks about all these different things with them, and they're so powerful. One of the things that I always talk about is the power of 3 and how effective communication, we have a hard time comprehending more than 3 main points when we're in a session like this or when we're trying to learn something. So I'm going to infuse the power of 3 into Deepak Chopra's stop technique to try to give you something that you can start immediately tomorrow using as part of your daily rituals to be more productive and successful. So what Deepak has done is broken down the word stop. S stands for stop. your negative thoughts. Excuse my writing. Stop your negative thoughts. Pretty self-explanatory. T is take 3 deep breaths. In through your nose. Now through your mouth. Let's try it. In through your nose. Oh, observe your body's presence. And that basically is just take a moment to take an inventory of your body and how you're feeling in that present moment. And become more present. And then P, proceed with kindness. And how I do this on a daily basis is by telling myself 3 things that I'm grateful for. And why I'm grateful for those things. I am so grateful for my girlfriend, Terry. She has been such a ray of sunshine in my life and such a positive influence on me in my daily routine. I am so grateful for Toastmasters. They've given me an opportunity to find my voice, to find an outlet, to practice speaking, and to get feedback and to learn and grow. I'm so grateful for my family. My 93-year-old grandmother is still around and is such a beacon of hope and love in my family. So I'll do that each day. Another technique you can use is called the power of I am. That is a book written by Joel Osteen, where he talks about everything that our mind hears after the word I am, it believes. So instead of telling yourself, I can't be a speaker, I don't know what my brand is, I don't know what to talk about. I'm not physically active, I can't go to the gym and work out. Instead, I am confident. I am able. I am fit. I am strong. You feed yourself these positive affirmations after the word I am to help you get ready for your day. And the last technique that you can use is something from Dr. Christiane Northrup, where she talks about the 3 most important words that you can say to yourself on a daily basis. Does anybody know what those might be?
I love you.
Right.
Really?
I love you. I love you. Now, we probably say those words to our significant other, our kids, or our family members on a daily, weekly basis. But how often, if ever, do we say those words to ourselves? Successful people are great at adopting daily habits that help keep them focused on their success. But they're also great at using triggers to remind themselves of those habits and of their goals on a daily basis. So let's use the power of 3 again. And I want to do a little exercise with you. I want you to think of a goal that you're working on right now that's really important to you. I want you to pull out your phone And I want you to set an alarm for every 3 hours during your day to remind yourself of that goal or that important habit that you want to adopt. I set a goal for myself this year to become more present. I didn't want to continue always looking forward and planning ahead and always focusing on what was coming up. I wanted to be more in the moment and enjoy the moment. I didn't want to worry about the things that had happened behind me. So I set a goal that I wanted to be more present. So every 3 hours I set an alarm and I stop what I'm doing. I take 3 deep breaths and then I remind myself to stay calm. Be present. So I encourage you, whatever goal it is that you're working on, that's most important, set that alarm. And when it goes off, obey it. Enthusiasm is the vehicle to drive your success. Successful people not only use those 3 secrets to success, but they also use enthusiasm as that voice in the back of their head to keep them focused on their smaller goals. And the last strategy that successful people use is to commit and follow through. Commit and follow through. Even on the small stuff, they realize the importance of keeping moving and focusing on those smaller goals. I know there's an old adage out there that says, don't sweat the small stuff. But in this case, do not follow that. Small commitments lead to bigger ones. How many of you have set a goal to lose weight? Most of us, right? How many of you have realized, as you're working towards that goal, that if I'd have just got the sweet stuff out of the kitchen, or if I'd have filled my fridge full of more veggies, or drank more water on a daily basis, that goal of 10 to 15 pounds to lose may not have been that daunting anymore. I tried for years to lose weight. Tried every different diet plan that you can think of out there. And would make progress. And then would always eventually end up right back where I started. Until I adopted those 3 keys to success. I took that goal of losing weight and chunked it down into a smaller, more focused goals. Then I created healthy daily habits that were in line with those smaller goals and monitored and tracked them. And also, most importantly, I committed and followed through on those smaller goals. And the result was that I lost 50 pounds by keeping my eyes on the prize of those smaller commitments. And those smaller commitments have led to bigger commitments and me being able to keep it off for 8 years now. So I know you're probably asking yourself, okay, Scott, I understand. Enthusiasm creates excitement, and I can see how that can help you become more successful. But what about me? What do I have to be enthusiastic about? Well, in the next session, we'll talk about how to find your why, and how to use what you're passionate about to put a plan in place to follow that and help you be more successful in whatever aspect of life that you want to focus on. So, let's take a look back at 3 key things that we talked about. First, adopting great habits and the importance of that. The stop technique. Start each day by stopping. Second, 3 keys to success. Chunk it down. Follow through. Commit. And then also look at those smaller commitments and really focus on those. And lastly, probably most importantly, act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Thank you, folks.